Bada bing, bada fucking boom, bada da da. Bada bing, bada fucking boom, bada da da. Get that bada, get that bing, and then you've got a motherfucking bada bing, bada da da. What up, Naughty Steppers? Connor Whitmore here again with another review for you on the Nawtystep channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a live review of the new track from Snails and Subtronics, Snailclops. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it would be hard to find two dubstep producers more involved in the collaboration game at the moment. Jesse Kardon, Subtronics, who's released tunes with Grizz, Rusko, Phase 1, Ganja White Knight, and that's just this year. And Frederik, Durand, Snails, who has also done a metric fuckton of collaborative work in the recent past. From Zed's Dead to Virtual Riot, Woolly, Boogie T, Crime or Adventure Club, the list goes on from there. And who also just yesterday gave fans a peek of his upcoming collaboration schedule, the man just can't help himself. Basically, these two love working with others in their field, so in principle, Snailclops seemed like a no-brainer. And even though their own sounds do differ quite wildly, I think that makes it more interesting as to how it would work, perfect for a live review. For those that may not be familiar, a live review is me listening to a track for the first time whilst recording. Kinda like a reaction video, but more about the review and response side of it. So I will be stopping the track at various points in order to give my thoughts on it while listening. But here we go, Snails, Subtronics, Snailclops, let's do it! And just having a quick look at the artwork here, it's nice that Snails again has gone with that thing of conjoining his own style, his own branding, with that of the other producer involved. We've had tracks like Snailophan in the past, where we had, of course, Snails and Woolly producing together. And now, here again, we just have a big old snail with a Cyclops eye attached to it, which, of course, is the Subtronics thing. And this is something that Subtronics himself has done as well, perhaps not on the artwork front, but with the titling of it. Of course, we had Grizztronics recently, a really nice kind of graphic there. And yeah, it's colourful. I thought I would wear a colourful shirt to go with that as well. This is one of the most colourful shirts that I own, believe it or not, even though it is predominantly white. So yeah, trying to match that vibe with my attire today. And yeah, hopefully the track is as colourful and lively and graphic as the artwork suggests here. Quick build. Oh, okay. Oh! Okay. Okay, we're almost halfway through. I don't feel like there will be a long mid-section of sorts here because, yeah, the track is only 2 minutes 58. So just going to give my quick thoughts on that first kind of half of the song. For me, something that Snails has kind of lacked with in the past has been his percussion. I don't feel like the drums have kind of supported what's laid on top. You know, he's been a master of giving us so many amazing sounds over the years. But in the recent past, as I said, I don't think he's had the percussion to match that. Here, I think we do get that because Subtronics comes in and really gives his meaty, chunky percussion and kind of lends that to the Snails stuff that lays over the top. And I think together those things work really well. The ideas in particular, though, I can't say at the moment I'm that big on. It could change as the track goes on, but it's one of those ideas that just kind of feels a bit stifled and withdrawn, as if it's in a straitjacket, if you will, as if it could be unleashed and just needs that kind of energy and impetus to really set it free, because it's going dipping into a hole, if you know what I mean. It's just going in on itself continually, not loads of flavour to it, beyond the really cheeky touches that we get. And, you know, going on from there, that is probably the thing that I enjoy about it most. Those little bits that we get in between the drop sections, I think they're really good. That would have to be my favourite part about it, because for the most part, as I said, it is a little bit too contained, not really fully expressing itself, in my opinion. But then again, it could change up. It is only the first half that I've heard so far, and also beyond that, it's only the first time I've heard this song altogether, so it could grow on me more and more as I listen to it again and again, but for now, I must say that it feels a little bit withdrawn. It feels like it could have a little bit more to it, a little bit more flavour, a little bit more shooting off in different directions, because at the moment, yeah, it's very to itself. But anyway, carrying on. I like this bit. Yeah, I must admit, I actually enjoy the build and interlude sections quite a bit. That fuzzy undertone with the vocal sample transmission kind of thing going on over the top, I think that works really well as a combination. And the fact that they're so short gives them much more urgency and makes them fit in within the context of the overall song much better. But yeah, I think they work towards making this song what it is, which is a very fast-paced and getting to the point sort of number. Okay, so just before I round this video up, I'm going to address that second half. There wasn't that much of a change from the first half, from what I gathered. There was a little bit more flavour and kind of aggression in the main synths in the drop compared to the first one. But I think I had the same issues with it, stuff that I actually forgot to mention earlier, which is that I think there needs to be more of the gaps needed filling there. And also, yeah, it just needed more sprightliness, more energy. I think the pace of it is good, but yeah, it just needs more kind of juicy bits kind of flying off in all directions and just more going on generally. I think that there were very clear and obvious gaps there in between the sounds that we use. Sorry, I just spat an absolute massive spitball there. And as the song went on and on, I struggled to see the influence of Snails more and more. I'm not sure I could pinprick even a specific moment where I'm really sure that Snails has kind of had his own input in the song. Yeah, it's a weird one. I'd have to listen to it again, but for me it just stands out at the moment as a purely Subtronics number. But again, as I've mentioned, with more listens I'll get used to it more and more, and yeah, I will be able to identify where Snails has kind of had his stamp on this song. In terms of what I enjoyed about that second half, again, they've got some really nice touches going on there, especially in the transitioning from section to section, actually. I didn't notice that before, but in the movement from one sequence to another, they've got some really good little snippets in there, keeping the momentum flowing so that it never kind of has a moment where you're just kind of waiting for the next bit to come along and it gets a bit boring, which unfortunately I think we do get a bit of in the drops. They do drone on a little bit too much in my opinion, but having that transitioning from section to section I think really works. I do just wish there was more of it though. Before we get into those aforementioned questions, I'm just going to listen to that first drop one more time. Firstly, what were your favourite parts of the track? I really enjoy the gloomy opening actually. I think it's a really nice way to introduce the song. Something I expected from these two, considering they've both done it a fair bit in the past. But yeah, I think it sets the scene really well and prepares us for everything that comes afterwards very effectively. I also enjoy that double build thing that they've got going on. It's not quite a fake out, but I think it's a really nice way of again gearing us up for the heaviness that follows. The little touches that we get in the drops, again, are great. In the transitioning from section to section as well. That's a part of the track where they fill in the gaps really well. They did just need more of it though, in my opinion. Also enjoying the small ways that it picks up in the second drop. More aggression, a little bit more flavour, and also those interlude moments that I touched on earlier. The fuzzy undertone with that vocal transmission running over the top works really well. So yeah, overall I would have to say those are my favourite parts from the song. What were your least favourite parts of the track? The heaviest moments for me do just need more ingenuity, more invention, more flavour. It's a decent foundation they've got from which to work, but for me it does just need more, and with the drops being such a focal point of a dubstep song, it means that overall Snailclops doesn't quite hit the mark. Also, not being able to spot the Snails influence all that well or all that easily is a bit of a drawback for me. It isn't really clear to me where the Snails influence is, so yeah, that might come with more listens as I listen to it again and again, but at the moment I can't quite see it or find it. It's a collaboration with huge potential that for me isn't quite fully realised across the near 3-minute runtime. And finally, what do you make of the song overall? I enjoy the length of it. I think Snailclops is short, snappy, to the point, and the relationship between all the different sections I think is really good. The manoeuvring from one to another is effective and well cut. But it could have done with much more in terms of the layering of what we do get, the substance of it. So overall, yeah, I'd have to say it's a decent collab that I think I will like more over time. But for now, the dubstep I do find a little bit too ordinary to really get into it. The rest I'm really enjoying. Every kind of section that surrounds the heaviest moments I'm really enjoying. But dubstep does hinge on those heaviest moments, those drops, which at the moment I'm not that big on. So yeah, unfortunately, Snailclops is a track that I'm not really getting into all that much at the moment. And so there we have it, the latest live review on the channel of the new track from Snails and Subtronics, Snailclops. But what did you guys make of Snailclops? Do you have any favourite moments from it yourself? Anything that you would change about it? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this live review, then be sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell along the way so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video to the channel, and my social media accounts are linked in the description box down below. For some other live reviews on the channel, check out the link next to my head somewhere. And lastly, if it's naughty, then you know guys, so be sure, as always, to keep it naughty and stay safe. And I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace out.